Brett and Gail Farrell are winter milking on their Northland dairy farm. They've used herd homes to mitigate the effects of the Northland winters. They're now in the process of trialling a new dairy yard system.
The dairy yard dates back for nearly 7 years. It took us 2 years to get approval to trial it, and that was approval from Fonterra, New Zealand Food Safety Authority, and we needed the support of Ag Research to do that, so it's been a real team effort. Initially, the first one was built on my farm as a trial, and I had to keep the old cow shed going. From there, we advanced to field trials like this one of Brent and Gale's, which you can see here, and we had to repeat that in about 5 different locations around New Zealand. It is waterless, and by being waterless, it allows the manure to go through its process in a better manner, which keeps the right bacteria in there and actually keeps all the greenhouse gases in there. Consent issues initially were about, could we keep the floor sterile in there? Was it more sterile or less sterile than a hosed down cow yard? As the fact that there is no water running over the cow yard, there is no aerosol effect from a high pressure of the wind and the water that stirs up the little particles. We've got an advantage there, but then again there is some effluent which is then compressed on there, is left as a dry crust on there. And that seems to be, or it's been well proven using testing for bacteria, that that's very inert and it's in a very stable form as it in there. And the cows walking over it actually clean and break that debris off. Well, it's very, very strong in the dairy sector, but it's also moving into the beef. And now lately it's been moving into looking after the young stock, particularly at this time of the year when they do so much damage walking up and down the paddocks. Oh, this is all looking very good for the middle of winter, isn't it?
There's a lot of cows coming in, like must get 1,000, 1,100 cows a day coming over here.
To be winter milking, boy, you can make some mud. You know, pugging damage, it's long term. So, yeah, when I first saw herd homes, when I went to a pugging type workshop, well, there was a group that Tom got together, or somebody got together, and saw his herd homes. I thought, I got to get that man out there to see these herd homes. We don't want a feed pad, we want herd homes. We're probably the most intensive users of herd homes that Tom's ever seen. I mean, I don't know that that's a good thing, but it's, you work with what you've got, don't you? I'm waiting for the dairy payout to go up, and then I'm straight back to the bank going, please, sir, can we have some more money? I'm not concerned about the downturn other than it's affecting me not getting more herd homes, really. This is a dairy yard, which people come and look at and go, when we decided to build the cow shed, we decided that we'd seen this at Tom's and perhaps we should go this way, because the cost of this and building huge ponds, which we'd need more than 3 hectares of ponds to milk 365 days of the year, the number of cows that we milk, and they would have to be out there somewhere, and they couldn't really be down on the flat unless we built them up, because that floods occasionally, not every year, but occasionally. So it seemed like, well, we can see the effluent that comes out of there, we might as well have what comes here. Have you ever seen cows when they're standing in a normal yard? You can get quite a lot of effluent. So we decided we'd go with this, put our hand up. We don't usually like to be in the first 10%, but must have been having a happy day. And the bank approved the money, so that was even better. So now we have this dairy yard. It's segmented so that when it actually fills up, you can just take one bay. It's quite quick to empty, and it fills up. I think the first bay, probably 2.5 months this time of the year. So it's getting empty sort of 4 times a year, and they can just bring in the spreader and scoop it out and go spread it wherever we need it, whenever they want. The cost to build this was twice what it would have been for a yard, but then you have to add in the ponds as well, and they, in Northland, when you look at the rain that comes down, 90-day storage, you need some pretty big ponds. Cows, they like standing under here, definitely, especially in the summer and the winter. They don't come in all wet and horrible. But mainly, it's the effluent. That's just like nutrients on tap. It's fertiliser, it's just quick to go.
At this time of the year, we use the herd home all year, every day all year. For each herd gets a turn in there. They come up voluntarily from the paddock to there on a gate timer. And they, to get out of the sun in the middle of the day, you put shade cloth in, they've got vented roofs, and it keeps the cows cool. And they volunteer to come up, and they get milked after that. Each herd in turn gets a turn in the herd homes. This time of the year, they used very intensively this herd here, which is we call herd 1. It arrives here early in the morning, gets milked, and then after milking, it goes into the herd homes until the afternoon milking. So it's here for about 8 or 9 hours. The next herd, they'll walk up by themselves and they get fed in here just on lunchtime. These guys get kicked out into the dairy yard. The other herd comes up here at lunchtime and they get fed here. That herd also, they're in a paddock at night as well, but they'll come up here early in the morning. At about 3 o'clock in the morning, they arrive here and there's feed here waiting for them. It's just been upset a bit by the dry cows having to be in here. And the dry cows are in here all night long, so somebody has to kick them out before herd 2 can go in. So they've been used by herd 1, herd 2 and the dry cows. Saving pasture damage, nutrient recycling. There's a lot of small things like lameness. When we winter milking 550 cows this year, we used to winter milk 300 or 350 cows, and we could have 70 in a separate mob with some varying degree of lameness. Now, at the moment, we've got 5 cows and we've had 2 months of wet weather. It's just not an issue now. Part of it is the gratings, the stones fall through. Part of it's the cows walking up here by themselves without being pushed. Part of it's the fibre we feed in the autumn, and part of it's the biotin we add in for their hoof health, I guess. Where we are now, this was maize last year's growing season. This is new grass now, barley with sustained clover. We're growing 30 hectares of maize a year, maybe 35 this year. And we also grow about 20 hectares of triticale. So the maize is on the best yielding flat paddocks, and the triticale is on the hills. And that's just part of our regrassing program. If we didn't have herd homes, we might grow less. We think it's our competitive advantage, the way we can use effluent, the cost we can grow maize. Well, we'd still use maize if we had an ordinary feed pad set up. We wouldn't be growing the amount.
The cost at the moment has actually reversed itself. We're looking at farms that are approaching us this year who are coming back from having runoff some distance away, wanting to be self-contained, can't afford their grazing bill, want to keep their production up to similar levels and be self-contained at home. Is it the capital cost or is it farm operating costs? Because the case studies that have been done on us now, because we've been going long enough to have farms with good records, are showing that your operating costs, even with the extra capital involved, drop immensely, over 50 cents a kg in operating costs.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.